hi page clubbers. So for our extra page today, I am going to use a piece of pumpkin and a piece of hot fudge. So if you want to get those out, you can. First things first, let's measure our pieces. This piece I'm pretty sure is going to be a 6 by 12. Correct. And this piece is a 6 by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 6 by 8. And these should be 6 by 1. They are. And then on our pre-printed pieces, we have it looks like a 1-inch frame all the way around. And we have this piece, which is 7 by 11 is the big piece. And then this little piece is going to be 5 by 11. Okay, so we're ready. Let's cut our pieces. I do want to do something special with these little pieces, but other than that, I'm going to cut everything. I might cut everything with a decorative blade. Let's do the new twist, because I like it. So I'm going to cut right down the center first, and then I'm going to just cut a little bit all the way around to get that shape on there that we want. Perfect. And we'll do the same to this guy. Got a little more on that than I intended. Oops. That's okay. All right, and then with this piece, I'm going to put my straight blade back so I don't get shocked the next time I go to use that. We do have some new fun tools. I don't know if you guys have seen our new custom cutting system decorative rulers. They're like what we had in the old days, if you remember. I'm going to attempt to cut all of these with this. And I'm wondering if it's the swell is too deep for this to work, because it's going to go into too deep. So maybe that's not going to work. We'll use this on the next page. For this one, we're going to get our good old trusty picket fence out. And let's cut these with the picket fence. I hope this will work. Ooh, it's going to be tight. Let's do this side. And what we might do, well, we'll just see what happens here. So cut these off. And I'm just going to cut just a little tiny bit. Like that. And that. And I'm thinking that this is not going to be big enough to do what I want. But I do kind of want to cut the tips off of this. This is one of my favorite tricks. Oops. That worked, but not really. I like cutting the tips off to give it a little different look, but usually I go all the way to the base. Let me try one more time. I want it to be a solid, that's better. Let's try it with this one. And then I think on the bottom, we're just gonna have to, actually this might be easier with this, maybe. I just don't want to see the fence pickets, if that makes sense. That's probably as close as I'm gonna get. Okay, so then as far as these other pieces go, I think I'm just going to cut this in half, and these will just be straight like it is in the example. Okay, perfect. Now, I do want a little bit, oh, let me cut these off. Should have done that first. I do want a little strip of paper. We're going to do a 1/2 inch paper, and we're going to do it in this pumpkin. I'm just going to cut a 1/2 inch strip, and then we only need, we'll just cut it in half at 6 inches. What we're going to do is thread this through our picket fence, which is no longer really a picket fence, by the way. All right. Should be done with all of that for the moment. And I'm just going to start weaving this piece through here. I really like this look. The picket fence is a super versatile, fun punch that we sometimes forget about because it comes in our kit, and then you get all these other fabulous things and you think, I don't need picket fence. And I feel like I wish I would have got that a little wider, but I think it's going to look good. So I'm just weaving this through. And when you tape it down, it'll get stuck to it. So you don't need to really worry about adhesive quite yet. This works out really good for like Santa's belt. If anybody is making Santa's belt right now. All right. Let's get our base pieces out and start putting this together. Let's see, I think it goes like this. And then our largest piece goes right down the middle. So I'm going to line this up on my 13 by 13 mat. And then line this up. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. We have a little bit of blue right there, but I'm going to cover that up so it doesn't matter. I'm going to push it over to this side as far as I can. We do have a new layout ruler that you can use to really make sure you're straight on your page. Okay, but I kind of like my mats together, so it only is going to work for me going horizontally. And we have some more blue there. Let me cut it off. I actually kind of wish I had cut that off there, but I don't know that you're going to be able to see it. Perfecto. All right, which do we want these up here or down here? So it really doesn't matter. I think at the top. So I'm going to try and hit both pieces of paper a few times as I go down the strip there. And you want that piece lined up in the center. this up in the center. I should have done that before I put tape on it. I'll line that up there. Perfect. And then we'll put just these regular straight strips on the bottom. Cover up this blue on there a little. Okay. Now we'll go with our lovely stickers. And I'm going to use some foam squares on this guy. I am going to totally copy because that's my favorite. I'm going to use my anti-stick stuff powder. You just kind of shake this powder out onto the sticky. You could probably use baby powder or whatever, but this is made for this, so it's probably archival quality. Always got to make sure you're using photo safe stuff so it lasts. Otherwise, why are you doing it? Right? Giving thanks. Ooh, we do have, which I'm going to save one for my other page, but one of these I'm going to put down here. And then this goes here. I'm going to pop up these pumpkins. Use the powder again. Still a little sticky. That looks so good. I love copying because I don't have to think about it, and they are way cleverer than I am. Right? The spice of life. It looks like this side has pine cones. The other side we did stars. Okay, that is all they have. So I'm going to leave the rest for now. We do have our extra embellishments too. But let's go to the next page. I want to make, we do have this other border, remember? So I think what I'll do is make some fun borders with this new tool. All right, you are going to need your custom cutting system blades. And I'm going to first cut, gosh, this is oldie but goodie, right? I'm going to cut a waist strip. When we got rid of our 12-inch decorative trimmer, I was really sad. So I'm glad they came out with something. And this is a little more compact, so we don't have to pack more stuff. That's good. All right, I'm going to line this up on here. And I want the bubble look. See the bubbles we got going on? And that's because I flipped it. And I'm going to line this up on the edge here, this line. And I'm going to line my ruler up at the 2. So, well, the humps are at the 2. This is actually lined up at like 1.5. And the reason I say all that is because we're going to do some pumpkin as well, and we want it to be skinnier. So set that aside for right now and get your pumpkin out. We're going to do the same thing. We got to cut a waist strip. So I'm going to line this up and cut just a little bit off. Actually, we did it this way, didn't we? We're going to do it the exact same way so that it comes out to match. We want it to match. Go down. Perfect. And then we're going to flip this over so we get bubbles. And I'm going to line this up on the edge. See all my bubbles, my humps are lined up on this line over here. And before I lined my little things up at the 1/2 inch right there, the 11.5. Now I'm going to go to 11. And it should make it skinnier so that it'll fit on my hot fudge one just perfect. Perfect. Perfect, perfect. We'll set that aside. And then as you can see, you have a perfect little mat. So let's tape this all together. And we're going to put this guy down the middle. And that is beautiful. And we're just going to work on this side right here. I'll put this right here like this. I love it. I do want some photo mats, and I think I'm going to make one double mat. So let's do a 6.5 by 4.5. And then we'll do, let's do, this is 4 by 5.5. Let's do 4 by 4s. And I want to cut this off. Actually, I'll cut this off. Love 4 by 4s. I just love getting lots of pictures on my pages. So the smaller the mat, the more pictures you can get. And then let's do a 4 by 6 out of this pumpkin. And now we can tape it all down, and then we'll decorate. Let's put it over here, and then we'll do, I guess we can't do 3 of these. But we could do a little journal area. And we'll save these 4 by 4s for something else. All right, decorating. I love autumn. I guess we could do this pumpkin pie thing right here. I don't really like pumpkin pie, but... And then I'm going to make a little area with these, little title area right here. Thankful and blessed. And then we have some... Can do some sprinkling of these guys. There's another pie. And there's a candle and a pine cone. I wonder if this candle would fit back here. Yep. And I'm not too big on the other stuff, so I'm good, I think. So here's your November page kit. A little zhuzhing up going on. There will be 3 4 by 6 pictures here, or actually 3.5 by 5.5, and then 2 3.5 by 5.5 here. You could certainly put more along the edge here. And then here's your third bonus page, using up a couple pieces of cardstock and your extra stickers. So don't forget to save this, put it in your binder, and I'll see you next time.